Hey everyone, Caroline Rena here with the Ride of My Life podcast, and I am really excited to share with you my travel. This time I am headed back to Florida, and I'm very excited about this because there are interesting things happening which really surprised me. They just started popping up at the last minute, but that's what apparently the universe does. It lets you go until the last possible second and then says, hey, look at this. Here, we have something for you. So I just wanted to let you know that Oklahoma City, I am leaving actually for the second time, this time heading east. And it was a very, very loving and positive environment, and I still was going through my healing process and learned a lot about myself in relation to how I see, how I have thought I saw authority in my life. And I'm not talking about police or military or any of that stuff, because I was in the military for 8 years in the Army, so that kind of thing wasn't it. It was more like if someone wouldn't listen to me, and then because I know I have gut feelings, and I know what I'm saying in the moment, and if someone doesn't listen, my little girl comes out and she's like, or my teenager actually, she got a little frustrated and she comes out and she's like, no, I'm not gonna do this anymore, because I've always given my authority over to everyone else instead of listening to my gut and listening to myself, and it really began to frustrate me. And I was like, I'm not going to do that this time. But the interesting thing was, this time, instead of like crashing and burning like I used to do, I asked for help from my friend, and she gave it to me and walked me through. Like, we do this everywhere I've stayed with my friends on this journey. It's like we give and receive everything and support, and it's like, for me, this was unfathomable, because I didn't really think that there were people out there who would do this. Now, keep in mind, I'm just going to share real quick, I was an only child, and I grew up with my grandparents and my dad, so I really never had the experience of having any brothers or sisters, and I didn't have the experience of having my mother around. She was alive, but the relationship, she left when I was 12, basically. The divorce happened when I was 4. She left when I was 12, and then I didn't see her again until I was in my 30s, my early 30s. And so throughout that time, I always felt alone, but then I would, even though I didn't want to, I would isolate myself because I felt safe that way. So in that respect, I kept myself from trusting other people, trusting myself, being open to being supported by others, supporting myself. And it was just something that lasted for such a long time until I started doing my work, my personal development courses. I just researched. I did anything and everything I could just to figure out what the heck was going on. And I could not for many, many years until I finally did. And then when I started this journey, at the beginning of it, I went up to West Virginia in the middle of winter in January, and grateful for that experience and the work that my friend did with me up there, and then traveled back to Florida, and then up from Florida in how did I do this? Oh, in February, I went to North Carolina, and I stayed there until April. And another friend gave me space and allowed me to do my work, and I did it, and things just started progressing. And then from North Carolina, I went to I actually went north of Asheville to Bakersfield, North Carolina, to a place called The Quiet Place, which is a retreat. And I got to spend 3 nights there, I think, something like that. And oh my gosh, I was like so relaxed after I got done with that. And from there, let's see, that was when I was heading out towards Colorado. So from there I went to Grand Rivers, Kentucky, and spent a couple of days with a friend there. And that was just to take a break and spend a little time just hanging out and fooding and that type of thing. And it was a little more information and experience in my life kind of moving forward. So as I was doing this ride, awarenesses kept coming up and I kept seeing things. I'm an observer. If you know about human design, I talk about it. As an observer, I observe everything that goes on around me, and I observe myself. And what I see, if it's not working, if this system isn't working, I figure out a way to adjust and to change and to heal. If some other system isn't working, I have always done this. I find a different way to make it work. And I remember, just as an example, when I was 16 years old, I had a temp job. Maybe I was 18, I don't know. But it was stuffing envelopes. And I was going insane because they told me the way they wanted me to stuff the envelopes, and it was taking forever. And I was like, I don't like this. So what I decided to do was find a better way to do it. So I'm watching myself stuff these envelopes, and I kept finding a better way that would make it go quicker. And I did. And they were like so thrilled that I got it done so fast, you know. So that's a gift I have. And that's the thing. It's like when you go through this journey. Back then I wasn't really aware of it, but now looking back, it's like, find your gifts. You can find it when you do this kind of stuff, because then you can observe what's happening around you in your life. And if you're not an observer, you can still observe yourself. So in that observation of myself, I am finding my truth. I'm finding my strength. I'm finding my power. And I'm not talking about force. I'm talking about my inner strength, my heart, you know, and connecting with my heart through love and my feelings. I was so disconnected from my feelings. I couldn't even get angry. I'd just cry when I was angry. So I don't do that anymore. Now if something makes me sad, then I'll tear up a little bit, and then I let it go, and then I'm okay. Back then, I'd cry at the drop of a hat about everything, and that's not how it's supposed to work, that I'm finding. So anyway, let's see, I left off with Kentucky. So I left Kentucky, and that was in May, and I went to Colorado Springs, and I stayed there for about 11 weeks with my dear friend there, Valerie. And she is a counselor, and I couldn't have landed in a more appropriate place for this on many levels. The counseling, we kind of helped each other with the coaching and the counseling, or the coaching and the coaching. She did more coaching, I think, with me than counseling, but I don't know. There could have been some of that in there too, probably. But anyway, because she has a second business that she's doing that's more coaching. And it was really powerful. And she also, by the way, has this new course out called her ABCs course. And she did that with me while I was there. And it's so powerful. And I don't know if she has the actual recording up yet, but she should or will soon. Watch that. I mean, it's like so incredibly powerful how she walks you through it. And she's so focused on you and present, and really it was so helpful when she was doing the work with me. And I just wanted to give her a shout out about that, because I know she's trying to get that going, or is getting that going. And then from Colorado Springs, I came back. I decided I was going to go back to Florida, and so I stopped off here in Oklahoma City. And like I said, I've been here for about almost 4 weeks, and in a couple of days it'll be 4 weeks. And it was a beautiful thing. I walked through a lot, and my friend and I here, Deborah, we also co-coached each other, and that was, bear with me, I'm trying to find directions here. That was like, wow. And she is, her little business that she's doing, she's got a lot of different things that she does. She's an amazing cook. She puts energy, Reiki energy, love into her cooking, so everything always tastes amazing. I probably gained a few pounds while I was here, which is a good thing for me right now. And also there is somebody trying to not let me in, but that's okay. I'm all right with this. So then there is her Wise Lioness Rising, where she's working on this. She has an Instagram account for that, and is, I guess, looking at building it. But hold on a second. Okay. Not but. I almost went in the wrong direction, but that's okay. So we're working together on a project, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that project. And while I was here, I'll tell you that in a minute. And also, she writes these amazing poems that she infuses with Reiki energy as well. She wrote me one. I'll share it at some point. Maybe I'll put it up on my on one of my posts on this one if I remember what I said in here, because I usually don't, and I have to figure out what I'm going to type. But so that's that. And yeah, so we're working on a project, and while I was there also, I am still talking to my friend Tsushimoto, who is in Japan right now, and we're working on a workshop, a Zoom workshop. Now, I'm not 100% sure yet. We're still talking about dates, but we're pretty close on the first one. It's going to be probably in October now. But we're going to do 3 of them that we're looking at, and those will be next year, to include, we're working on getting him over here to Florida to present these workshops that he does in Japan and Taiwan. And he seems to have quite a following over there, so now he wants to expand it to the United States, and there's a whole bunch of information that goes along with that, but I'm not going to get into that either, because that's not, I'm trying to drive. So anyway, the point behind this is I am excited. I am looking forward to what the next part of my adventure is. I did get the information I needed at the last minute of what I was supposed to do. It wasn't easy waiting, because I've always had a fear of the unknown, but I did it, and now I feel like a whole lot of weight and pent up, energy was released, and I'm just so grateful and so I can't even think of words. There's no words. It's just this energy of love, energy of peace. That's the whole point of my Inner Peace Pilgrimage that I'm feeling, and I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that you continue to watch me, because whoever I meet, I'm gonna bring on. I'll interview people. Right now, I'm headed to Arkansas to a campground, and by the way, Hip Camp, if you're that was the one I used, but there's plenty of them out there. Hip Camp was the app I used, and found this campground, which I will hopefully be sharing with you. Maybe I'll interview the people who run it, because it's also a permaculture farm. So, and I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, and I think I missed my exit, and that's okay. Maybe I'll go. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna have to reroute here. Anyway, just want to say thank you. Now, what you just saw was something where in my past I would have flipped out about. I don't know if I'm not flipping out because I'm on here videoing, or I'm not flipping out because it's not affecting me like it used to. However, I'm just saying, it's an experience to be experienced. So yeah, I think that, wow. Okay, I'm in a city on a highway, so sometimes it's a little tricky because there are people who don't want to let you in. But anyway, that's okay too. So I will sign off so I can pay attention to what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoyed this, and wherever you are, I hope you have a beautiful moment and a beautiful day or night. So bye.